We all know a story is only ever as good as its villain, but a great story has multiple villains. Darth Vader and Darth Sidious, Death and Big Jack Horner, the little girl from Nemo and Bruce. But who is the other villain who is more terrifying, more dangerous, and more evil in Wreck-It Ralph? Who is responsible for all the destruction? Before we do that, first things first, let's look at the main villain of the film, King Candy. The most important question is he a villain? Yes. Yes, he is. The definition of a villain, according to my very quick Google search, is someone who harms others, and King Candy does this. He is the reason Penelope is glitching because he snuck into the game and corrupted her save file, so he could become the main character of the game. This counts as harming her, plus he also tries to make Ralph watch her get eaten by a giant insect, so he's definitely a villain. What kind of villain is he though? Following these different categories, I believe he falls under either the classic villain, who only exists in the story to try and stop the hero, or he's the corrupted villain, as he was once just a race car driver in his own game who was normal like everyone else, but he became jealous of the others and decided to take control of the game, which caused it to be shut down. He snuck into another racing game and placed himself there so he could keep getting the racing attention he wanted. King Candy acts as the main villain of the film as we see him trap Ralph, trap Felix. We learn all of his backstory and it is very clear he's had an effect on all of the video game characters. But who is the secret villain? Is it the Gumdrop who's King Candy's henchman? Is it the other racers who bully Penelope? Is it the insects who are just mindless beasts who eat everything? Is it Ralph himself who gets in Penelope's way more than any of the others, and he almost gets his own game shut down? Technically yes to all of these, but there is one more hidden villain who starts the chain of events leading to everything happening in the film. And it's this guy, Gene. And all the residents of Niceland act as our hidden villain, but Gene is the mayor and the vocal leader of this evil organisation. And I also love he is also known as Big Gene, so I'll be referring to him as that from now on. Big Gene is our authority figure, our evil tyrant. Other than just being a bit of a dick, Big Gene does one thing that makes him evil: gatekeeping. Ralph wants one thing in the beginning of the film, and that's to live in the tower with the others and be one of them. He longs for connection and believes he is bad because he is so different from the others, even though at this point in the film he hasn't done a single bad thing yet. As the townspeople of Niceland celebrate the 30th anniversary of their game, Ralph sees them partying and goes up to see everyone in the game, and even some characters from other games are there. But he wasn't invited. He is of course upset by this and has everyone on the top in celebration, and Ralph alone in the mud. He places himself on the roof with the others, but Big Gene shuts this down, pushing Ralph away. Ralph claims he will win his own medal and sets off on his hero's journey. He enters the game Hero's Duty and fights through swarms of cyborgs to earn his very own medal, which he loses, along with one of the cyborgs in Sugar Rush. Ralph meets Penelope, who uses his medal to enter a race. Ralph gets angry. Ralph helps Penelope build a car. Ralph gets a proposition from King Candy to get his medal back if he destroys Penelope's car. Ralph destroys her car. Penelope gives Ralph a handmade medal. Ralph goes back to his game to find out it is being shut down from his absence. Ralph helps Penelope build a car. The world almost falls apart. Ralph spikes a Mentos volcano. Ralph saves the day. Ralph is treated kindly by the Nicelanders. Of course, one of the main themes of the film is self-acceptance. The whole, I am bad and that's good, I will never be good and that's not bad, there's no one I'd rather be than me. It's a classic line from the film and it shows the theme perfectly. Ralph spends his entire film thinking he's a villain and that's all he'll ever be. But he learns it doesn't matter because he can only ever be himself. So, being himself, he does the right thing and saves everyone. But the start and finish of Ralph's story is about his relationship with the Nicelanders, as it is them who push him away, causing all the chaos and destruction to occur. Sure, Ralph did a lot of that himself, but if at any point Ralph failed and the cyborg spread to all the games, it would have been Big Gene's fault. He caused the situation to happen by gatekeeping the tower and gatekeeping his community. I'm sure you've heard the term gatekeeping, but if you don't know what it means, basically it's someone protecting something by keeping other things away. Or, if you want the Cambridge Dictionary definition, the activity of trying to control who gets particular resources, power, or opportunities, and who does not. Gatekeeping is very common, and it is something a lot of us do without realising. People are protective of what they care about, and don't want others to ruin it. This is common in music, sports, film, TV, and other interests we may have day to day, as well as bigger, more social and political things such as who gets opportunities, who can live where, and who has what rights. So, how do we make sure we don't become like Big Gene? Well, if you're interested in something, it shouldn't matter what others think. It doesn't matter how other people show the same interest. Someone doesn't like a show more than you just because they watch it more. They might just have more free time. Just because you watch a sports team all year round doesn't mean someone who only watches them when they're entertaining is less of a fan than you. Just because someone found a song before it blew up doesn't mean it has a more special connection to them than it does to you. Most of these can be summed up very easily. It's not a competition. If you like something and someone else does as well, how does them liking it have anything to do with you? Just because you have the same favourite show as someone doesn't mean the way you express that is different or matters at all. Just because they know the law doesn't mean you didn't love the show, they just show it differently. Of course, I'm only talking about entertainment at the moment because when it comes to social political issues, there's not much most of us can do day to day. But it is important, the stuff that affects us. That is the stuff we deal with every single day. And we all have different relationships with everything, especially entertainment. And everyone would be a lot happier if we all stopped gatekeeping our own interests and judging others for the way they like the same things as us. People also explore their interests in different ways. I personally like to just watch films and enjoy them, whereas other people might like to analyse camera movements or the cinematography, or they might want to research how the film was made. That has absolutely no effect on how much I liked the film. I just don't enjoy my interests like that. And just because I don't, doesn't mean my way is better or worse. It doesn't affect us, there's no competition here. And if you're talking about your interests with someone and it feels like a competition, ask yourself, are you gatekeeping your own interests? Or is someone gatekeeping them from you? And if you're gatekeeping your own interests, why? Why are you defending it so much? How much does it mean to you? And why does it matter what someone else thinks? Or why does it matter how much it means to someone else? Are you the Ralph in the story? Or are you Big Gene, the hidden villain of Wreck-It Ralph? Thank you for watching my video on gatekeeping and Big Gene, the hidden villain. If you liked this, like and subscribe for more, and we'll see what other characters will do next.